Rogers TV.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laura Beltonva. On today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about the highs and the lows of life. I get the chance to sit and chat with Phil Tobin, Victor Cool Spencer, and a special guest, some unknown mummer. I also get the chance to sit and chat with Chigozie Nwosu about her book, Overcoming Depression. So sit back, relax, and get ready to talk about depression and celebrate a little in today's episode. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Phil Tobin and Victor Cool Spencer, who are musicians working on a really cool project, the O'Dearn Project, and
The
O'Dearn Mike Project, and something called the Unknown Mummer. So, gentlemen, what's the story behind this?
Well, The Unknown Mummer was created to help promote the album, the double album that's going to be coming out somewhere around the fall, hopefully. And so he's kind of doing all the legwork and introducing you to the album. And
Oh, God, nope. Well, I guess that's the mummer.
This is The Unknown Mummer. He's a little bit late, but he's here.
Hi, mummer. Nice to meet you. Okay, now, all right, he's terrifying. But that's just me. So you're saying, so he's going around.
Yes, so he's laying the groundwork for the album for us. So he's also looking for a character named Tovey.
Okay.
Yes, because Tovey is a character that's in this story as well.
All right.
And when the mummer meets Tovey, well, something special is going to happen. But you got to kind of wait till that.
We got to wait.
I can't give you too much info.
Okay. And so mummer doesn't speak.
Nope.
Okay. So, Victor, for you, as being part of this project, what was it about this project that drew you to being part of it?
Well, at the beginning, I met Phil a few years back. We haven't seen others for a while. We went separate from playing different bands and stuff. And he told me he was going to do a project on Newfoundland stuff about this
Mummer of
record of
sorts.
Marmion and the mum and stuff. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll give it a try with you. And we started for a while, and we continue now for almost a couple of years now.
Okay.
And so far it's going pretty good.
So the mummer hasn't terrified you
No,
at any
not
point? Okay, not yet.
Not yet.
Emphasis on the yet. Maybe when we find Tovey, things might get a little bit more interesting. So for you, Phil, you're from O'Dearn originally.
Yeah.
So what is it about where you're from that plays into this project?
Well, it was such a beautiful place back in the 60s, and there's a lot of history involved in it. And when you get together for a family gathering or anything, everybody talks about how great it was in O'Dearn, even though at the time it was a hardship.
Okay.
But, you know, when you're looking back, it always looks great, right? So basically, this whole project is about resettlement in the 60s.
Okay.
So the first album the music is tailored around the 60s kind of music and 70s. And that first album is all about life on the island. You know, getting married, you have tragedy, you have, you know, school life, and then you have the government saying you're going to be resettled. Okay. And then they move you out of there to St. John's. So then the second album is all about life after you leave out there. So some people went to, you know, stayed here in St. John's. Some people went to Toronto and other parts of Canada. A lot of people went, and the oil was coming online then, so a lot of people went on the oil rigs. So it's basically all about that era then. So it has a happy ending, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
You're
a sad
promising
ending.
me a happy ending.
It is a very happy ending, yeah, I guarantee you, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with this project and this album, there's a music video for just about everything.
Yes, yeah, the Mummer, there's probably about 12, 15 or more videos of the Mummer, which we want to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the music the Mummer's doing is from that era, the 60s and the 70s, and we're doing a lot of Newfoundland music too. So that's kind of getting you ready for what's coming on the album, get you re-familiarized with that era.
Okay. So there's a really cool video that we're going to check out. So can you give me a little bit of info about what to expect?
Yeah, okay. It's a video that's been dedicated to Bud Davidge, and it's called The Lost of the Marion. So we kind of took it and redone it our way, the way we'd like to do it and everything. There's some wonderful video shots the videographer did, Brad Clark, and shots of Fort Amherst, and lovely angles that I haven't seen in videos and stuff before. And basically, it's thank you, Bud, for all the lovely songs you've given us over the years. And we just want to say thank you.
Well, folks, sit back, relax. We'll check out this wonderful video clip, and respects being paid to Bud Davidge.
In 1915, on the 10th day of June, at Burke's Wharf the Marion lay, prepared for the banks as was custom to do, all loaded with cabling for bait. The wind from the northwest, a fine summer breeze, as Ike Jones from St. Jack's he stared. And the boys in the forecastle made plans for that night when they'd all go ashore in St. Pierre. Some were uneasy, there'd be trouble, they said, 'cause Ike Jones was noted to fight. At the Café de France, on the last trip he made, a Frenchman had threatened his life. The challenge to fight was issued that night, while the cheap French liquor ran free. The French captain then warned the Marion's men he would answer their challenge at sea. Next day the Marion set sail again, so to the story relay. The French, being trawler, weighed anchor as well, and followed close by in her wake. She's a Fortune Bay schooner heading out for the banks, with fine, hardy Fortune Bay men. But some on the Cape were rumored to say she'd never be heard from again. The fate that befell the Marion's crew and the schooner will never be known. Not a trace, no tidings were ever again to be heard by those waiting at home. Some say the Frenchman was true to his word, some say he confessed, for he died, that he scuttled the Marion and settled the death, not taking one man or the side. Families of Skinners and Vallis and Miles grieved for their loved ones on shore. And the Newfoundland story of lost to the sea was told as so often before. She's a Fortune Bay schooner heading out for the banks with fine, hardy Fortune Bay men. But some on the Cape were rumored to say she'd never be heard from again. But some on the Cape were rumored to say she'd never be heard from again.
are quite the dancer. Thank you so much. Well, folks, that was quite the video and quite the dance party that you might have missed out, but thank you so much, Mr. Unknown Mummer. Victor, my next question is coming to you. So you have been here for quite some time. You grew up here within Newfoundland, Labrador from your early 20s. How did it feel for you listening to Bud Davidge in that time and now getting to honor him in part of this music video?
Well, I could say I came here in 1977.
Yeah.
And through the years, I got to know about Newfoundland music and stuff, and the Bud Davidge thing, and get to know through Phil. Like, I listened to his music before and stuff, but then when he started to get onto this project, I listened to it more and stuff, and I kind of like Newfoundland music. You know, it's a different culture to what I grew up from Trinidad. We have like more calypso and reggae and stuff like that. But the Newfoundland music is a step different to what I grew up with. But since I've been here, I like it a lot, you know, so I end up doing stuff with him too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So for you, Phil, as people get to know you, this album, get to go on this journey with you, the Unknown Mummer, with your entire band, what are you hoping for those who aren't reminiscing, because people like me, this is pre our generation, but are getting to go back in time? What do you hope we get out of it?
Some historical information about what life was like back then, and how sometimes when the economy changes, well, little communities are affected by it, and of course they've been there for centuries, and they got to uproot and go to a whole new way of life. So you kind of get to see that, and it's still going on today.
It's absolutely, like if we look at the state of the world.
It's still going on today, and you know, be kind, be friendly, you know, be nice to people, because when we came to St. John's, people were very nice to us too, so.
Oh, see, that's really sweet, and like you could end it there, but we're not going to, because I have more questions for you.
No.
Oh, no. Well, oh, yes. So there artwork for each piece of the album and each song. Is there any that sticks out for you that you're like, if I get to take this and put on my wall, this is the one?
There is one, is Seagull Dreams,
Okay.
and there are 22 large illustrations, and there are 22 stamp size illustrations. There's one, and the stamp ones are all in black and white, but there's one in color, and it's called Seagull Dreams, and it pictures the idyllic life on the island from this angle anyway, and there's lovely colors in it and stuff, so that one really sticks out to me.
All right, Victor, which is the one that's going on your wall?
The one with
It's a hard question.
A hard one to pick.
I got to pick my favorite though. So like,
Yeah?
mine is the one where the salt block house is being like, it looks like it's being pushed off the cliff, but I don't know if it's being pulled away from the cliff. But that's the one I want to put on my wall.
Okay. I might have two. I don't know which two yet.
Okay. So there might be two
But I like
going
them
on.
all, yeah.
That's Ben Gillard. He painted both those covers.
Okay.
The first one is O'Dearn when it was in its lovely days, and the second one was when the oil hit.
Okay.
And we all had to push our houses off the island, float them across the bay.
Okay, so that's what was going on in that picture.
That's one I like to.
Okay.
So maybe that one might go on my wall.
Arm wrestle you for it?
Yeah.
We'll arm wrestle over who gets the original copy of that one. All right. So for folks who are curious and want to watch more, watch these videos, what are we searching on YouTube, on Facebook? Is it the Unknown Mummer? Is it the O'Dearn Project?
At the moment, it's the Unknown Mummer.
Okay.
And when the album comes out, it'll lead into that, I guess.
Okay.
It's called the O'Dearn Lament.
The O'Dearn Lament.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you folks decided to come and chat with me.
Thank you.
Mr. Mummer, I don't know who's under there, and I know there's like rules against demummering a mummer, but you owe me another dance. So I'll catch you at the album release and we'll do a jig or two. But I want to thank you folks so much for joining me, for having this conversation, and for sharing what O'Dearn meant to you and your community, and giving us the chance to go back in time, celebrate a little, reminisce, and see that some things transverse time and place and are important at all points. So thank you.
All right, thank you for having us.
And we'll be right back, everyone. Make sure to check out The Unknown Mummer and then The O'Dearn Lament once the albums are out.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by the one and only Chigozie Nwosu, who is an author and a coach, and who is the author of the book, Overcoming Depression. Now, Chigozie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because this is a very important topic you're talking about. Why was it important for you to write this book?
Yeah, it was through experiences that culminated together with people's lived experiences, what I saw in the consulting room, what I saw around me, what I saw volunteering, and I saw the way so many people are going through these, and most of them don't even know what to do, and the ones that did something felt nothing came out of it, and I felt, how do I lend my voice to this? How do I bridge the gap between people not seeking help or feeling shameful about this situation? And that's when I came to the conclusion, okay, you can put something down. Even if you can't talk to someone, you can hand them over this book. Even if someone else is very far from you, they can get it from somewhere. So those were the things that came together and inspired me to put it down, because I want to lend my voice. I may not be able to reach everyone going through this, but my book can reach people going through depression. So that's basically the reason for writing the book.
So as someone myself who's also very passionate about mental health and who's had her own mental health struggles, as you were putting this together, were there any points in writing the book that were like aha moments for you in helping glue together what you got in lived experience from other people and trying to translate it into written form?
Yeah, there were those aha moments, not one, not two, because when you are talking to people going through these and you get that news of, oh, I'm good, I feel better. Those were the aha moments for me, bringing all those good stories together. When you have these people, they've gone through this and they are saying, oh, I'm okay now, I'm good, I'm free, I've overcome. Those were my aha moments. And when I saw that most of the stories in the book, even though marked, because I don't want people to know the owners of the stories, that lived experiences, that people's true life experiences. So going through that and seeing those aha moments that these people went through and they are happy, those were the things I just felt like, oh, if someone could go through this and be free, it means another person can as well try this and also be free.
So for people who will pick up this book, let's say they're at the bookstore, they've ordered it online, what's the one thing you hope they're able to resonate with while reading?
While reading, there's one thing that would resonate with many people, anyone that comes across this book, is the fact that these are experiences that you see around you. That day-to-day experiences is not far-fetched from what anybody is going through, because when we talk about depression, it's a problem of the mind, it's a mental health challenge. And when you look at it from that perspective, it's when people get to that level of hopelessness, that's when depression progresses, because we can say, oh, a lot of people get depressed and they just shove it down. We have mild, moderate, and severe depression. And when we talk about suicide, it comes from the stage where they are now in severe depression and has gotten to that place where it's just better I end it all. But this book is out there to tell you, you can seek help, you can get help, and you can overcome depression. So if there is anything I want to tell anybody, I can say, seek help, there is help, and you can overcome depression.
So for a lot of people, looking for support can be a scary thing. So is this book as a way to help them until they've made it to the point where they're talking to professionals and seeking outside support? Is it supposed to be like an aid to help them go on to their next steps?
It's a self-help book in the sense that you need to seek support. You need to seek professionals to help you. There are places of counselors, therapists, your doctors, the use of medications, they are all outlined. But then there are stories in the book that you also read, you will see people have gone through this, and even to the level of attempted suicide, and they didn't get help, and they did something else that helped them get help. That's why I said, read the book. You will find out what these people that have gone through all these series of therapists, doctors, medication, what then happened that changed their life, that gave them that light, and they overcame depression. They are all outlined in the book, and that's why anybody listening to this should get the book. You will find out what you need to do.
What for you has been your favorite part since you've written this book, since you've had the aha moments and you've gotten to be in community, talking to people? What have you really enjoyed about it?
One of the things I've enjoyed about it was someone read the book and the review was, I've never been able to think I can overcome this until I read this book. And again, being that recently I went through a training and I found out the level at which this issue affects people. So it's not like it's going to be affecting a particular group of people. It's not for the weak, it's not for the strong. It can affect anybody. And that's what I want everyone to know. It can affect people at the peak of their career. It can affect people struggling. It's no respecter of anyone. And that's what we want people to understand. That's what I personally want people to understand, that whatever profession you are in, depression can affect anybody. And we should see it from the lens of being an illness, just like we talk about, I have headache. So people should be free to say they are depressed and they should seek help, because the reason why many people don't seek help is the stigma and the shame they feel, because most time depression is attributed to people being weak, which is not true. It's a problem of the mind. Just like every other sickness have their own way or pathway where they go, depression has its own stages, and people need to seek help. And that's what I'm all for, seek help.
I really love that you're being willing, and people were willing to share, to help break the stigma, especially when it comes to mental health and mental illness, and people were comfortable enough to create the spaces to, like, I don't want you to know my name, but I want you to know you're not alone in this struggle, and that it is a community thing, not an individual isolated on an island kind of thing.
Sorry, I didn't get that question.
I said I really love that in the stories that people are sharing with you, that they were able to say, yes, I want to be anonymous, but my struggle is not anonymous. These are things that people can relate to at various points in time that help build a community and break that kind of stigma that people are experiencing when it comes to mental health.
Yeah, very, very, very okay. And I like the fact that the launch is coming up on Saturday. And I have few of these people that are willing to share their true life experiences, like share it with their own mouth.
Yeah.
And people will get to hear it and see how they navigated through it. So that's one of my excitement about it, that okay, now there are people that are really ready to talk about this.
Chigozie, you and I could sit and chat about mental health and depression for hours and not uncover anything new and not lose the chance to uncover new things. But we're running out of time. So if people are interested in getting your book, Overcoming Depression, where can we find it?
Oh, it's available on Amazon. There is a Kindle version, there is the paperback version. And if anyone wants to get it directly from me, you can also send me an email via YouTube. And if you see me here, you can also ask me to give you a copy and you get it from me directly. And I don't mind signing an autograph for anyone who gets it directly from me.
Well, thank you so much, folks. Make sure to check out Overcoming Depression on Amazon or check out Dr. Chigozie on YouTube. want to thank all of you for tuning in yet again. It's always a joy getting to share the time with you. I want to give a very special thank you to my guests for joining me today. Thank you to Chikazie Nyosu for talking about her book and sharing the importance in her journey. I also want to give a very special thank you to Phil Tobin and to Victor Cool Spencer. And there was another guest. Oh yeah, he didn't leave. The Unknown Mummer for also joining us on today's episode. I can't wait to see you all again soon. I'll catch you next time. Sir, if you won't mind, can we do a do?
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Saturdays, it's hockey like you've never seen before. Welcome to the NHL Hockeyverse. It's the place where real data of NHL action is transformed, literally, into animations. Combining NHL Edge puck and player tracking data with animations to show hockey like never before.
Let's go inside the helmet.
That's right. This is no video game. The NHL Hockeyverse Matchup of the Week, Saturdays at noon on Sportsnet.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way, Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned.